I went overboard ad nauseum because I had the game Monday. I'm number one in his fan club. He is terrific. He can do it all, and he does it economically. He's very patient. He is really a good player. He's going to have a special career here on the farm.
Sam Beskin, the walk-on, makes his second career start for the Tucson native. Maxime Reynaud, the freshman, who the Cardinal are really high on up front. For Valpo on the other side, they're missing a couple of key guys coming into this matchup tonight. The Missouri Valley Conference.
Used to be the Crusaders.
They did.
They changed their
in
name.
August, they changed it.
Yeah, the Beacons.
The Beacons. The Valpo Beacons in the opening tap, controlled by Valparaiso, wearing the yellow tonight. And the home whites for the Cardinal. Valpo 0-2, a couple of tough losses at home to begin their season to Toledo and the University of Illinois at Chicago in overtime. And their last game on Saturday.
In fairness, Valpo's down their two best players, and so they're playing a little undermanned, but that's not unusual in college basketball this time of year.
Offensive foul on the baseline. Kevion Taylor, the senior from Milwaukee, the transfer from Division II Winona State, called for the offensive foul.
Good ball movement by Valpo, but really couldn't get any kind of penetration. Stanford was switching everything, and really that's why Beska's in the game. He's a tough kid, and Jared Haas trying to send some messages. This is how we need to play to win.
And he'll do whatever Jared Haas asked him to do.
Yep, and that's what you want. You know, you can't everybody be the head of the pack. Some guys have to do the dirty work.
Here is Beskin, feeds a cutting Max Merle, who makes the start. And a block is called, sending Merle to the line. And a sophomore from Omaha, who came off the bench each of the last two games, started the opener, is back in the starting lineup tonight for his second career start.
I hope he was inside the restricted area, because he sure looked to me like he was there in terms of a charge. But, you know, as the officials told me so many times, what do I know?
What do you know?
I'm not sure. Used to thought I knew something, but...
That is the first career miss from the free throw line for Max Merle, who is 16 for 16 prior to that free throw attempt.
He's got a nice shooting touch. He really does. A left-hander out of Omaha. He can shoot the ball. Hasn't shot it necessarily in games, but if you watch practice, he's got a pure stroke. So Coach Lottie claims that they can shoot the ball from out, that they're a good three-point shooting team. The statistics don't bear that out yet, but he says we'll get better because we can shoot the ball.
2 games, small sample size.
Small sample size. But both at home and...
Yeah. But again, you mentioned it, they're playing without 2 of their key players. Ben Cricky, who is out.
He'll be
He's
back
dealing with a
next
foot
week,
injury.
Yeah. And he thinks he's their best player. He thinks he's special.
Spencer Jones, the turnaround on the baseline. Stanford needs to get him going.
Yeah, you know, last year I would pitch and hold him as a perimeter shooter from the corner, but he did a much better job the other night when I had him. You know, he was getting rebounds, he was fighting defensively, and
Sheldon Edwards at the line for Valpo, sophomore. Leads the Beacons in block shots so far this year. Double figures in each of the first 2 games for Sheldon Edwards. And despite being 6'4", does have 6 block shots, including 4, a career high against Illinois Chicago on Saturday.
That was a nice back cut right there. And of course, Stanford's going to want to be very aggressive defensively. That's what Coach Haas is stressing. You're going to get overplay. You got to be able to backdoor them and make them pay.
3-1 the Cardinal, the early lead. And a foul inside. This goes against Kevion Taylor, and that's 2 already on Taylor. A minute 41 into the game.
Out he comes. You know, it's interesting watching Matt Lottie coach, because as a player, he was so fiery. I mean, he was just an ultimate competitor. He's very calm on the bench. I'm pleased to see that. He didn't get too rattled.
Trey Woodyard in the game, a freshman for Matt Lottie in Valpo. Clearly he learned that from you, staying calm on the side.
Yeah, that was, we talked about that.
And the ball stripped and a foul. Nice give and go. And Maxime Reynaud to the line for Stanford.
Maxime Renault, another freshman. I mean, the two freshmen are really stand out, but I also like the third one, Essa Silva. Good freshman group. As Jared says, we just got to get them to be sophomores and juniors and hopefully seniors and watch him mature and grow. But the big Frenchman, he is a player. He's got really good skills for a guy his size.
One more for Renault, 7'1", 240 pounds. And Jared Haff's really excited about the prospects of what Renault's going to do here. Part of the French national team system, so some international experience for Renault. And you see a good touch from the 7'1" center for Stanford, hitting both free throws.
Yeah, he's still, he played the international game primarily, so that game's a little bit different, not as much of a low post because of a wider lane, but as soon as he figures out how to be effective, good-looking shot right there, didn't go, but certainly came off his hand and looked like it could.
Michael O'Connell, the pull-up from the elbow, and it's 7-1 Cardinal.
So that's what he has to do, in my opinion. He has to establish the fact that he can shoot it out, or people are just going to play off and take away his driving lanes.
Good start for the Cardinal. They trailed San Jose State by 9, Mike, when you were here at halftime on Monday, and really got it going in the second half against the Spartans. Well, it's a 3 off the mark from Sheldon Edwards.
It took away the driving lanes, San Jose State's point guards, and San Jose State just couldn't do anything.
Spencer Jones rattles it home. And Jones, who was just 2 of 13 from 3 in the first 3 games of the year, hits his first look tonight. And it's Stanford up 10-1 to start the game.
That was set up Oak to do right there. He's just slow him down, get his guys calmed down on the road. But if you haven't practiced it, if you haven't done it in practice repetitively, you're not going to change anything in a game. Matt's just got to get his teams slowed down, calm down, and get some good shots.
And trying to cool off the Stanford 7-0 run as Valpo, as Trevor Anderson brings it up. A transfer from Wisconsin, a prolific high school scorer in the state of Wisconsin. An errant pass, and Stanford looks to push with Spencer Jones.
That was Stanford playing the screen down. They call it blue.
Diving forward to Sam Beskin. Renault underneath.
Use your size, big fella. Don't try to finesse that one. That's the shot he's got to make. That's one he's got to prove.
Missing the 3. Loose ball. O'Connell gets it. Underneath the slam for Maxime Renault.
Right now, Stanford's just more aggressive. They're more physical, and actually they're playing harder than Valpo is. I would say that they have an advantage talent-wise. I don't think there's a question about that, but they're playing hard.
Trevor Anderson can't get that to go, and it's cleared by Renault and the Cardinal. 12-1 Stanford, 4 minutes in.
They're doing this probably without their 2 best players, Roxy.
Maxime Renault left it short, and the rebound falls to Valpo. Jaden Dallaire and Harrison Ingram not in the starting lineup tonight. Now Jaden Dallaire and Ingram at the table, along with Lucas Kasunas and Issa Silva getting set to check in, but a great start for the Cardinals.
Oh, no question. They're playing physical. They're playing aggressive.
Freshman class that he added to some key veteran players back, the likes of Jaden Dallaire. Spencer Jones back, but Harrison Ingram on the floor now, and Issa Silva, freshman from Sacramento, in for the Cardinal.
I don't know how Stanford could play better than they have in the opening 4 minutes, but I don't think that you're going to see a lineup without Harrison Ingram in there.
Down the lane, Thomas Kinthier was wide open for him, and the first field goal for Valpo.
First uncontested shot they've got. First time they got going to the basket. So Valpo will settle down, I think, a little bit.
Lucas Kasunas has it knocked free, and Valpo comes away with it. Here comes Trevor Anderson. DeAndre Young in the game, a freshman from Del City, Oklahoma's. Anderson driving. Huge foul against Stanford, and it goes on Lucas Kasunas. First on the senior from Lithuania.
That's a no-no. Why is your 6'10" kid reaching? Get big, make him shoot over the top. He's not going to go anywhere. Early on, Roxy, all this is a learning process. Got a lot of new kids, a lot of transfers, a lot of freshmen, depending on what kind of program you have.
Open three from Kithier. And the rebound controlled by Harris and Ingram, the McDonald's All-American for the Cardinal.
Here's a kid, 6'8", 240, bringing the ball down. I liken him to a point forward. Play away from the basket and create. Yeah, that key.
James Delaire throws it away, and Trey Woodyard comes up with it. Here comes Valpo.
Jump in the air to make a pass. You heard that before, Roxy?
Far too many times, Mike. And it rolls in for Thomas Kithier.
And, you know, I'm not sure how high you jumped, actually, so I'm not sure how they knew that you jumped to make a pass.
You're assuming I got off the ground.
Yeah.
That's why I jumped right over to the broadcast table.
Yeah, you're smart.
Brandon Angel has it knocked away and ripped down by Trey Woodyard. Here comes Valpo. 3-on-2. DeAndre Young launching. And a good look at a three in the rebound. Harris and Ingram for Stanford.
Those are shots that Valpo has to make. The really nice break where you didn't really have numbers, but you had people retreating. You created for your shooter, and he couldn't knock it down.
Shot clock at 10. Brandon Angel launches a three. First three of the season for Angel.
Nice to see him come off the bench. He's going to be a guy that needs to contribute as the season moves forward. You know, Roxy, sometimes it's not always your 5 best players that make the best unit on the floor. That's got to be a foul.
Nice shot. Thomas Kithier and one fading away.
Yeah, just drove by the big guy. So he's got to move his feet. Here comes James Keefe.
Second on Lucas Kasunas, so James Keefe checks in for the Cardinals.
Yeah, of course, his dad, Adam Keefe, and his mom, Kristen, were at school when I was coaching here. Adam was all Pac-12 players, all 3 years, played in the pros. Mom was a great volleyball player. Great lineage there.
Both Stanford Hall of Famers. Is Thomas Kithier now is 7, and a transfer from Michigan State. Played 3 years for Tom Izzo and transferred to Valpo. Was the first appearance for Joe Hedstrom, 7-footer, a transfer from Wisconsin. And that's Matt Loddick has pieced it together. He's got some transfers, guys on the bounce back that are helping his program.
That is the future of college basketball, Roxy. Any team that you look at, you're going to have transfers, you know, guys that are leaving one school to go to another, the transfer portal, immediately eligible. And Valpo's no exception, and you're smart. You have to do that. It's crazy if you don't. If you let him dribble by himself, he's going to score a nice dish.
Underneath, the reverse lane falls off. Keefe, a second effort, rolls it in. James Keefe with his first points of the season.
If Ingram's got the ball, you better move, because he'll find you if you're open, just like he found Keefe right there.
And a bump on Issa Silva of the Cardinal. And that's one thing that makes it difficult for Jared Haas, as there's Keefe going to work on the offensive end, Mike, but you mentioned the transfer portal. Stanford can't get those guys.
Now, Bay Area basketball has got.
You had a hard time at Cal too trying to get transfers.
Things, you know, they operate differently. They're both great academic schools, but grad transfers, undergrads, it's very, very difficult, and that's taking a part of the recruiting process away from you, and everybody else is able to take advantage of that.
5 to shoot. Aaron Gordon out top. Kevion Taylor back in the game with his 2 fouls, and Issa Silva tracks down the rebound for Stanford.
Another point that we'll probably talk as we get more time is that NIL, the name, image, likeness that we're not sure the Bay Area schools are going to buy into, that others are going to buy into heavily.
Valpo pushes, and as James Delaire comes away with it, Valpo looking for a call. Stanford. James Delaire pulls up, too strong, and the rebound tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Harris and Ingram, and it belongs to Valparaiso. Stanford by 9, and Maples and Matt Loddick's return.
Valpo making a run.
Players transferring in, including Kobe King, who has to sit out the first 9 games of the season. He signed with an agent and was testing the NBA waters and then decided he wanted to come back, but because he signed with an agent who was not sanctioned by the NCAA, he had to sit out the 9-game punishment to start the year. They'll get him back in a few weeks.
And not all transfers just because they come from a big-time Power 5 school. It means they're great players. But in King's place, he averaged 14 for Wisconsin, so he's legit. And
Trevor Anderson was a good player also at Wisconsin.
This whole transfer thing is going to have to sort itself out, but it's going to have a huge impact on college athletics.
Knocked away, and Valpo comes away with it. Darius Guerrero for the Beacons, and loose ball still batted around. There's Sam Beskin coming away with it for Stanford.
That's why Sam Beskin's getting an opportunity to start, because he's not going to give in to it. He's going to put his head down and go.
Max Merle challenged in the ring by Sheldon Edwards. He told you he leads Valpo in block shots, and he can add to his total there.
Well, Max Merle's not small either. He's 6'9" and can rise a little bit.
And Edwards giving up 5 inches to Merle, as Sheldon Edwards just 6'4".
Yeah, he went up and got this. Look, comes from the weak side. That's a legit block. He went up and got the ball. That's good no call. Even though Max went down, I think he had ball first. That's a play on. I like that.
I don't think Max Merle liked it.
No.
Second foul on Michael O'Connell, so the first appearance for Noah Tates tonight for Stanford.
Noah Tates, I think, is a guard that can shoot the ball. Needs to prove it in games, get some game time. Watching the practice, he has a good stroke.
Highly recruited player out of Las Vegas.
Bishop Gorman High School produced a lot of players.
Thomas Kippier, and travel called, and Valpo turns it over. And for the Beacons, that's turnover number 6.
Nice spin dribble right there. Unfortunately, he probably moved his pivot foot first. Great opportunity for Coach Haas to develop some depth off the bench, get some confidence from some guys. Those guys that are going to play the hardest are going to get more run. Exactly what you want to do building a program.
Shot clock at 5. Max Merle posting up, and nobody stopping him this time as he sealed Sheldon Edwards and dunked it.
Great high-low look right there.
And then Max Merle returns the favor to Sheldon Edwards. Those two guys are going back and forth at each other.
Little success goes a long way, your confidence. He dunks one, next thing you know, he's blocking shots. Don't give Jones that shot, please.
Valpo pushes. Kevion Taylor in transition. Spencer Jones hustling back.
We're at a block party, Roxy.
We're at Maples on a Wednesday night. Maxime Renaud, and he tried to posterize Sheldon Edwards, but missed.
Everybody's having fun here on the playground.
This when you try to grab the reins of it and slow it down.
Well, let's get something we can make.
And a corner 3 and a good look for Kevion Taylor for Valpo.
Nice kick through. Defender in the corner is in no man's land. If you can't help or need help, then stay at home.
Taylor was a big-time scorer in Division II Winona State, Minnesota. Over 1,600 points, top 10 in their history in scoring. That's a 3 for Noah Tates in the Cardinals.
That was a jam down screen, which we've not seen much from the Card. It was nice to see that and see him make that. I watched Tates in practice the other day, and he really shot the ball well, and I think they've been waiting for that. They need that.
There's a 3 launched and rattles out from Sheldon Edwards.
I think Valpo withheld that first salvo. They're kind of hanging now. Need to get a run of their own.
Noah Tates. 2 threes for Tates.
Set up by Issa Silva. Again, the defender turned his head. Didn't locate the shooter. That's what's going to make Stanford a good basketball team, is the ability.
Mike, as Jared told us earlier today in shoot-around, hey, the key for us tonight is get ball movement, sharing the ball, rack up assists, and Stanford's doing that, 6 assists on 9 baskets.
Well, they're finding people that can make plays in areas they can make plays, and, Valpo's caught in between a little bit defensively, and they're not big and strong enough to get physical with them, but you're right. They are really executing, and they're finding not just one guy, but everybody.
7 turnovers now committed by Valpo, as they are scoreless for about 5 minutes, and Stanford scored 6 straight to go up 14.
Stanford's got Valpo sped up. So you can see the stuff they're running is good stuff, but they're going too fast. They can't execute at that speed. There's another high-low look right there they missed. Again, you get killed inside if you don't pressure the ball, and the passer can see. There's another slip off the ball. Skenevic to see right there.
Nice find. Harrison Ingram finding James Keith.
That's what he does. They brought a second defender, and Ingram got his head up. He is just a heady basketball player, and he assists Keith inside.
27-11 in favor of the Cardinal. And a 3 is way off from Trevor Anderson.
It's just a matter of pace and tempo right now, Roxy. Valpo's really sped up, and they're not even getting their feet set to shoot the ball. I think they are a pretty good team. There's a pick and roll, another on-ball screen.
Deflected, but recovered by Noah Tates. He lines it up from the top. And the rebound tip to Trevor Anderson. Here come the Beacons. All the way to the bucket. Trevor Anderson's first points tonight.
Stop the dribbler. One thing you're seeing from James Keith is what I think he can contribute to this team is 100% effort. He's going to give you everything he has, and he can be picked a nice take by De Silva.
And the rebound, Thomas Kithier for Valpo.
How's that?
Taken right back by Issa Silva. And he scoops it, spins out the tip, and by Spencer Jones.
That's what I liked about Jones the other night. He's doing more. He's more than being a one-dimensional player. He's boarding the ball. He's defending rather than just stand in the corner and shoot the ball. Just a progression of a young player. Stanford switching screens and not getting beat as a result. They're hurt right there.
Backing down Kithier and an offensive foul. Thomas Kithier called for his first.
That's actually a good call, Roxy, because he banged once, okay. Banged the second time. At some point, Keith is defenseless. What can he do? He can go down and try to fake it, but there, nice dish inside right there. James Keith finishes. It's been about an hour. Had a cup of coffee with James' dad, Adam, one of my faves.
Certainly helped you elevate this program.
Oh, he did. Yes, he did. He was a great player with a huge heart. First NCAA teams, NIT championship team.
Tough fade away from Ingram, and Aaron Gordon the rebound for Valpo. Pull up on the move, and Trevor Anderson with a bucket. Then a whistle after the shot went through, and Michael Reed working with Keith Kimball and John Higgins tonight. And there was a push after the basket, and that goes against Stanford, and they're calling it on Noah Tates.
Watch him bringing the ball down the floor because this is a veteran player. Nice little pull-up jump shot. Didn't see much there.
So at the line, Joe Hedstrom. And it's the 17th foul on Stanford, so 1-1 for the 7-footer for Valpo. First free throw attempt of the season. And one more coming as he spent 3 years at Wisconsin. Both his parents played college basketball, and his grandpa Bert was a 3-sport standout at Northwestern. Played football, basketball, and baseball in the late 40s.
Isn't that something? That's pretty special to be able to do that. I might mention that Matt Loddick, their coach, was all-state in football, basketball, and baseball at New Trier High School in Illinois out of Chicago.
Pull up by James Keith. Same high school as John Shire, right? The heir apparent at Duke.
Yeah, nice high school. Nice area of Chicago, North Chicago.
You know who else is a graduate of New Trier? Ben Braun.
I just made a statement. Now I got to get the history of New Trier High School.
You want me to keep going?
Well, do you have more?
No.
I know Ben wasn't there on an academic scholarship. Just kidding, Ben.
Text coming in 3, 2, 1.
Really good high school, nice area of Chicago. And Matt tried to play baseball here, thought he could do 2 sports. I allowed him to try, but
Marquis didn't agree?
Well, he realized those guys were all pros in baseball. And so he got away with a little hook inside there with the elbow, but he created space for himself. Threw it down.
And stumbling and losing the ball. Valpo and pushing it the other way. The lob for Maxime Renaud tries to drop it off, and Jake Allaire throws it down.
Valpo player had a chance to pick it up and put it ahead and get a basket.
And Trevor Anderson still shaking up a little bit, clutching his right hip. Through the hands of Joe Hedstrom, and Stanford trying for a run out, but Hedstrom grabs him. And a foul on Valpo as it's all Stanford. The Cardinals, their largest lead of the night.
Well, they're playing well.
Women's Tilt. Visit pac12.me/coast to coast to get your tickets now. That's pac12.me/coast to coast for tickets. So Jared Haas and the Cardinal taking on Chris Beard, the new coach at Texas. Ashaka Smart leaving to go to Marquette. And a whistle away from the ball and a foul against Valpo. That will put Stanford into the bonus for a 1-and-1.
Looking at the stat sheet here, Roxy, and one of the things that stands out to me, it's glaring, and that is, if you're going to go on the road and try to play and maybe play up a level, you cannot have 12 turnovers. That is giving the other team too many possessions.
And it rolls in. One more for Harrison Ingram, his first point of the night, as he averaged 18 through the first 3 coming in, including his first career double-double, 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists in the win here Monday against San Jose State.
It's off to a little slow start in this game through his first 2 points, but it's definitely going to be a factor for Stanford as the season.
Stanford, frankly, hasn't needed him to look for his offense so far tonight. Other guys really stepping it up and getting in rhythm as Spencer Jones leads Stanford with 7.
He's got a lot of mileage out of a lot of people so far, which has got to be pleasing for Jared Haas to get guys playing time, quality playing time, and watch them produce.
He's a Silva underneath. Harrison Ingram. 5 to shoot. Ingram down the lane. And Ingram will get to the free throw line. A foul on Valpo.
Yeah, they had him up in the air, really no place to go, and then they reached and fouled. One of the hardest things to get kids to do defensively is play good position with your body and keep your hands off. Don't reach down and give the official a chance to bail an airborne player out.
2 shots for Ingram. And the freshman from Dallas. The 9th McDonald's All-American in Stanford history. One more for Ingram. How many of those guys did you have of the 8 previous?
You know, I don't know. I think Childress was. I think maybe the Collins twins were. Maybe Casey Jacobson.
Pull up. Trevor Anderson.
Anderson, smart player. 6th year player.
Was Keith one?
Don't know that.
Clearly it meant that much to you.
That stuff's, you know, as time went on, I started to figure out a lot of that's political. Who you know.
And the block shot. And Stanford back to the line.
He sure should have been, could have been. Yeah. It was good enough to be.
I'm sure Trent, the Lopez twins.
Yeah.
Speaking of
I called somebody, excuse me, Roxy, and asked somebody about what's this, how do you get, and they said, well, you got to call Morgan Wooten at DeMatha. So what do you mean? He said, well, he's making the choices. So, I mean, it's that's pretty arbitrary. A lot of rotations for Jared Haas, trying to keep guys motivated, playing hard.
What do you think of former Stanford coach Trent Johnson now at CSUN?
Oh, boy. Yeah, he hired his son, Terry, which was great. Give him an opportunity. Terry worked for his dad. It's like Trent's wife said. She said, Terry, are you sure you know what you're getting yourself into?
Did Sarah have the same conversation with John when he went to work for you?
I was a piece of cake.
Oh, yeah, sure.
This is so easy.
I'm sure John would agree with that.
Relatively speaking, we're talking now.
The pull-up. And a tough shot from Trevor Anderson, who has 8 to lead Valpo.
It's interesting, though, Roxy. You're seeing guys 6th-year player, Eric Ward, 6th-year player, Kavion Taylor, 5th-year player, 5 transfer. It's just not like it was. There's just a whole turnover in rosters.
And a travel on Maxime Renaud.
He can't shoot that ball. The thing he's got to learn is when and where, timing, the whole deal, time and circumstance. Let yourself be wide open. Let somebody kick inside, outside. Maybe trying to do a little too much.
Former Stanford star Matt Lark in the Beacons of Valparaiso. Down 19 here late in the first half and a homecoming for Matt. I asked him earlier today, I'm like, have you been back to Maples since you played here? He goes, maybe for one game.
Is that right?
Yeah, he thought he may have been here like during Christmas break, once when he was playing overseas, when Trent was coaching here at Stanford.
Yeah, well, that would have been his first 4 years after he graduated and went overseas to play. He might have come back, but he played overseas for a number of years. Played in New Zealand, played in Japan, played in Germany. Oh, that's got to be a charge.
And it is Spencer Jones called for his second. Did you think he was going to be a coach when he was playing for you?
I don't think he thought so. No.
What did you think?
No, I don't know that you go to Stanford to be a coach, Russ. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had a quality degree. He's a very smart kid. He made some money playing overseas. He could have gone into what everybody goes into to make a... But he got invited to go to Valparaiso as an assistant. He was living in Chicago, in New Trier there. And he went, and he kind of got the bug. So, more power to him.
Try to talk him out of it?
No. We need more people like him. We really do. That's a quality guy. He wants to do things the right way.
In the corner, Sheldon Edwards had a good look at a 3.
Again, the guy in the corner, either you have to be a helper or you got to stay home. Don't get caught in no man's land. Got it back to 16, which seems like a lot, but it's sure better than it was. Got to get a stop here.
Tough step back from Silva, way short. And a tie-up as Renaud and Kithy are locked up with 3.6 left in the half. And it goes
to Stanford, I believe.
Stanford is now a 30 to use it or lose it. Timeout load and stream each game live wherever you might be with Pac-12 Now. The football starts Friday night in Pullman with Arizona, Washington State here on Pac-12 Now.
Who do you like in the Stanford-Cal football game, the big game, Roxy? Who do you like?
Really asking me? Noah Tate's launching a 3. And that'll take us to halftime.
Pretty good look. It's non-committal.
As long as the city of Berkeley doesn't impact it.
Well, yeah, they might not be able to get a bus to go across the bridge. Their boards, he's finishing. He's not just a corner shooter.
Jared Haas and the Cardinal, 2-0 here at home so far this season. Beat Tarleton State and San Jose State in the loss in Santa Clara last Friday.
Santa Clara played really well. Boy, they shot lights out. And I think, as I watched practice on Sunday, Jared was sending a message. We got to play harder than that.
Spencer Jones, the rebound for the Cardinal.
Stanford doesn't get a lot of free points off the break, Roxy, which I'd like to see him do a little bit more of sprinting. You don't have to shoot the ball, but you've got to keep the pressure on the defense.
Shot clock inside. Canada drives in. Basket taking it strong to the basket. Foul by Sheldon Edwards.
So Valpo defensively gets the ball on the side and plays the ball handler, Beskin, down, but they got no weak side help. They got nobody underneath the basket to stop him from getting to the basket. And Beskin just took advantage of it and went in going to get 2 foul shots.
One more for Beskin. Made his first career start Monday night against San Jose State. Off the bench each of the first couple of games.
I was at practice when he announced it, and he said, Sam is playing harder than anybody on our basketball team, and he's going to be rewarded. And that's a very subtle message to send, or maybe not so subtle.
You ever do that?
Yeah. I like to have my best players on the floor. I don't have a problem necessarily generally with guys playing hard.
Cut in the bucket. Yeah, missing, but a foul will get Sheldon Edwards to the line, and a nice cut by Edwards, the sophomore from West Palm Beach, Florida.
Very nice cut and a nice pass. Again, if you're looking for why that happened, Stanford lost vision. They're watching the ball and not staying in the position. Vision man and ball you man. A little quicker sub right now here, Roxy, for Stanford.
A minute 4 into the second half is pretty quick.
Yeah.
Last year, Missouri Valley all-freshman team for Sheldon Edwards. Average 8 points, 3 rebounds a game, led Valpo in threes made as Spencer Jones checking out. As Edwards hits both. 41-25, Stanford.
Side to side. Slip it, try to go high-low.
Falls off from Michael O'Connell, and Valpo looks to attack. Powering his way inside, and it falls off for Thomas Kithier, and Stanford controls.
Did a nice job of ball faking, lift once, lift twice. Got up and couldn't convert.
Harrison Ingram. Max Merle steps out for 3 and rattles for Merle.
This has got to help his confidence because he shoots the ball extremely well in practice. I think there's the thought that he's the best perimeter shooter on this basketball team. To do it when the bright lights are on. Stanford playing good defense.
Sideline and a turnover.
Just keeping the ball in front of them, Roxy. Sorry. Just keeping the ball in front of them. You know, they're just not letting any penetration. Valpo looking to get penetration, draw help, and kick for the open 3 and not getting that.
Backdoor cut looking for Merle, and Maxime Reynaud just too far out in front.
I just think Maxime needs the experience of knowing what is a high percentage play versus a gamble. That was a possibility, but he really would have had to thread the needle there.
Driving baseline, Gordon. Stanford really moving defensively and recovering, but burying a 3 is Sheldon Edwards from the corner.
They did it. Anytime you see a drive or drive baseline, you can expect to see an offensive player in the corner. Drive and drift. Stanford did a great job of taking that away.
Harrison Ingram from deep, and the rebound, Trevor Anderson. Valpo pushing. Edwards again. And the rebound, Max Merle for the Cardinal.
Those have to go down for Valpo. Get a little bit of confidence and get themselves back in the game.
Deflected, loose, and Valpo comes away with it.
Valpo a little scrappier this half, playing a little bit harder. Stanford definitely had Valpo back on their heels in the first half, especially to start the game.
Stanford jumped out to a 12-1 lead to start the night.
Good foot movement right there defensively. That's by a 6'9" player. Ooh, that's deep.
Thought about it. His brother would have taken it. As Aaron Gordon, the younger brother of Eric Gordon.
Really?
Yeah.
You're just a plethora of facts, Roxy.
That's what I'm here for, Mike.
I know that.
To inform.
Yeah.
Year 105-24, and as great John Platt, Stanford radio analyst, informed me, he's one of two players that played for you that never lost a game in McHale Center that played the 4 years.
I didn't know that. That is an impressive stat because everybody knows how hard it was to win at Arizona. But we had a good team. 17-0 in conference and 29-0 going into the last game of the regular season. And of course, the other loss came in the NCAA tournament, which was really disappointing.
But it was Matt Lonick and Justin Davis who had undefeated their 4 years in Tucson as Lucas Kasunis his first points of the evening.
Yeah, Justin Davis works with Josh Chilrissa, have company, and
loose ball picked up and laid in by Kevion Taylor for Valpo.
Somebody got hit in the noggin.
Thomas Kithier who's shaken out.
They don't want to lose him. Hopefully he's okay. Just a little wake-up call right there, kind of checking to see how many teeth he has. I don't think he knew how many he had to start with, so I don't know why he would do that. But I didn't see the hit, but young lady next to me saw it, and she kind of went, ooh.
That's all right. Emmy used to do that to people when she was playing.
Yeah, well, understandable. Valpo kind of hanging in there now. You know, you wish they'd gotten off to a better start. There's that double inside. You got some backside help. That's the way to do it. If the ball goes down,
buries an open three off the feed from Jaden Dallaire.
That's his second one. That's what you have to do coming out of a double inside is find the open guy and hope he can score it.
Stanford led by as many as 21 in the first half as Michael O'Connell, the lob. Jaden Dallaire, the finish.
Great hustle play by O'Connell right there. Just out-hustled the Valpo to the ball and then created a dunk situation.
Season worst 14 turnovers now for Valpo as Trevor Anderson hits a three.
Kind of that was his answer coming back, but I think he knows he got out-hustled for that loose ball and probably would hear about it in the film session.
Baseline. Ingram. Kick out. Angel another. Three-pointer. Brandon Angel, a career high 11 points.
All created by unselfish play and finding the open guy. Of course, you still have to make the shot, but that's just good basketball. Unselfish.
The only Cardinal in double figures is Angel, with just 3 points in the first 3 games coming in. Nice spin. Thomas Kithier for Valpo.
Might that have been a double dribble?
Was it called? So. Must not have been.
No, that's true. Jared Haas got up and asked about it.
An illegal screen. Offensive fouls on Lucas Kasunis, his third.
You know what, though? I know it's a foul, and he probably was a little over-aggressive on the screen. Set the tone. Be physical. Let them know you're there. Every now and again, you just can accept that as an aggressive play. Good to see James Keefe getting some run.
Strong contributions off the bench tonight. It's not just Dallaire and Ingram. Benoit Tate's in a couple of threes. Angel with 11. Keefe a couple of buckets.
Well, it's a talented basketball team. I think they just got to find combinations that work best together.
Keandre Young.
And there was a little bit of a double. If you're going to lose vision, somebody better cover up for you, but you've got to close with vision, man, and ball.
Michael O'Connell weaves his way inside. And last touch by Valpo and off of Darius Diavero, and it goes back to Stanford.
Yeah, This has got to be a great game for Jared. He's getting a lot of people quality playing time early with different combinations of player. Talked to Jared the other day in practice. He said, I really believe we're going to get better and better as the season goes on, and I really do believe that's right. I think they are going to get better as they figure out each other and what they can and can't do.
The guys are stepping into new roles. They had Oscar Da Silva the last few years, and everything, Mike, last year ran through him offensively.
The guys have to learn their roles, Roxy. You have to figure out what their job is on this team to be successful. They don't maybe have that guy that's going to average 21, although I would say Ingram is certainly capable of doing that. But they've got to find out how to play together. But for Jared Haas, it starts with playing hard, physical basketball.
One more for Dallaire. Double figures in 2 of the first 3. He started the opener. And now Dallaire off the bench each of the last 3. For Jared Haas and the Cardinal is the second one too strong, and Trevor Anderson boards for Valpo.
Jared is trying to set the tone for how he wants to play, how he feels they have to play to be successful. And
a foul will go against Keandre Young of Valpo, hustling with Jaden Dallaire for the loose ball.
I think you can let that go. That's a play on. I mean, Stanford end up with the ball anyway. You got to reward the guy for some effort right there. But
speaking of effort, you coached Matt. You coached against Jared when he was in college. Were there similarities in your eyes between Jared Haas and Matt Loddick as players?
Yeah. I mean, certainly mentally and how hard they played and how tough they were. Matt was a better shooter, I think, than Haas was. You know, we had Jared in camp, and he was our MVP of a pretty highly competitive camp that we had. And we had a chance to take Jared. I mean, he was right there, but we needed somebody else. And I regret it to this day because he was a really, really good player at Cal for a year and then on to Kansas. My kind of guy. It's just the combination of what we needed in that particular time, place and time. But yes, a lot of similarity, good comparison. I mean, I'd like to tell you couldn't get in Stanford. Of course, he could get into Cal, but that wasn't the case.
Are you talking about me?
Well, yeah, that's a given.
Where was my invite to that camp?
It was a good camp. We had a lot of kids and some really good players. I mean, Chris Webber came to that camp. There was a doctor in town that knew somebody, and this doctor brought him out as a sophomore and into camp, and wow, was he something.
It's Thomas Kithier.
That's the last thing Matt Loddick is. He's been their most productive player, at least thus far this year. You know, he's got the high ankle sprain with what he would claim to be his best player. And another player of the transfer from Wisconsin, King, that's out for 9 games as a result of the transfer rule of the NCAA making an arbitrary decision, which they often do. And so he's just got to be patient with these guys until he gets everybody back. Ooh, that's a tough shot.
Tough shot from Keandre Young, well short. Here comes Issa Silva for Stanford.
It's not a shot you need any time, but you certainly don't need it on the road.
What a play by Harrison Ingram. Brandon Angel left it short, and Valpo counters.
See, that's the early offense break right there, which I think Stanford needs to do more of before the defense gets set, find the open guy, and that paid off right there.
Freshman from Ontario, Canada, Darius Diavero with the 3. 15-point lead for Stanford. They've led by as many as 21 tonight. Jaden Dallaire launching a deep 3.
I think that's an early shot, not a good decision. That's out of context a little bit. Another corner shot. That's what they're looking to get.
Rattles out for Keandre Young.
It's still 15. I mean, you know, it's.
Nice pass by Silva, laying it in. 13 for Brandon Angel.
All off nice assist passes. You know, we used to talk all the time, Roxy, about needing to score X amount of points off the break, needing to score X amounts of points off second shots. That's offensive rebound, because you can't just get it out of offense all the time. You have to add everything in if you're going to be a good offensive team. Angel doing a nice job, I think, earning himself some playing time.
Delaire the rebound for the Cardinal.
Nobody's open. Nobody's open. Okay, I'll shoot.
Approaching the midway point of the second half.
Here's where he's dangerous. He keeps great vision on the floor.
Issa Silva, rainbow three. First points for the freshman from Sacramento.
God, I hate to be redundant, but don't lose vision of the guy in a corner when you're in no man's land. That's what Ingram does, though, Roxy. He's got great court vision.
And a reach in on Harrison Ingram of Stanford.
See, look at it. Heads up, he has vision. Valparaiso player not there. One trying to create shots rather than get it off movement. But, I mean, let's be honest. Stanford is more talented. You would expect them to win this game at home. And Valpo is going to have to play perfect to hang in there, and they've just made too many mistakes.
Attacking on the baseline, and Joe Hedstrom to the line for Valpo.
It'll slip on the block and roll right there. That should have been a charge opportunity. Probably not going to block that. You know, work really, really hard on defense to make this sound defensive play.
2 shots for Joe Hedstrom, 1 for 2 from the line. 7-footer nails the first.
Way back when we'd often complain, Roxy, about how are you going to get kids to take a charge or go on the floor for a loose ball. You watch ESPN. You don't see many of those plays on the highlight reels. It's all the dunks.
By the way, Thomas Kinthier getting his ankle looked at. Questionable to return for Valpo.
Oh, that's not good.
61-43, Stanford approaching 9:20 remaining.
I hope it's nothing that's going to keep him out for any length of time. Oh, don't jump in the air. That
leads to a run out. Sheldon Edwards.
That's a freshman mistake right there. Get a pivot foot, come to a stop, turn and locate. All dressed up, no place to go.
Noah Tate's 3 threes tonight for the sophomore from Vegas.
Came off an illegal screen. The screener just rolled right through the defender.
And an answer from Valpo and Kevion Taylor.
Tendency for Valpo is to try to get in a shootout. They're not going to win that, I don't think. All this time Maxime is getting as a freshman at a 7'1", just going to pay dividends down the road.
That's going to try you when players left their feet with nowhere to pass.
Well, it's just the bad basketball play. There's no other way to slice it.
Maxime Renaud, a 3.
That's good news, bad news for Coach Ash, because he's going to say, see, I can do that. No, you're 7 foot. I got 6'2" guys that can shoot that shot. You go inside.
Kevin Durant's on line 1.
I don't know that we're going to compare Maxime with Kevin. Now that's just, come on.
Dirk Nowitzki's on line 2. Noah Tate's weaving his way in. 11 for Tate, so unexpected scoring for the bench. Brandon Angel, a career-high 13. Noah Tate's 2 off a career best. He's got 11 and an offensive foul on Valpo.
That was created by Silva just refusing to be screened and forcing his way through that screen. A lot of times kids quit on that screen and there's no call.
Together, we fly. Beautiful night on the Stanford campus. Look at the Hoover Tower. 69-48, Stanford cruising against Valpo, and former Stanford great Matt Loddick, the head coach of the Beacons.
Just went under the screen right there. It's not bad.
Looking for the drop off and broken up, and here comes Valpo.
Trying to slip it, right idea. Corner's open. Good closeout by Angel right there.
Fumbled away by Kevion Taylor.
a 7'1" freshman doing that, Roxy. A little bit of contact. He played through it.
And a three from the 7-footer, Joe Hedstrom. He heard you talking about 7-footers. Can't shoot threes, Mike.
Well, you know, you can spread the floor by bringing your big guys a trail post. It opens up the inside, but I do like a little more back to basket. Come on, Silva. Throw it right into his hands.
Sheldon Edwards way off on that three.
Learning process for he's a really nice kid. Had a chance to talk with him a little bit. Jesuit High School in Sacramento actually went up thinking they weren't going to have a season, went up to Prolific Prep because he thought that was the only place he can play, and then went back to Jesuit to finish this year.
Maxime Renaud, the turnaround. And the rebound, Aaron Gordon.
Valuable experience and playing time for the 7'1" freshman. Stanford's a relatively young team, Roxy. They don't have a lot of seniors.
And you look at the roster, Jaden Delaire technically is a senior, but keep in mind, he's the guy that reclassified and left high school a year early to enroll at Stanford.
Yeah, when you say, though, he's a senior, I mean, does he not get last year back because of COVID? Or?
No, he does, if they want it. But again, by his age, he should be a junior, though, in college because he left high school a year early.
Yeah. But you're going to see a lot of teams that have a lot of fifth-year guys that have transferred. And what Jared's trying to do with his basketball team is get old. He said that. I need these kids to stay so we can get old.
It's the old Mike Bray line, right? Get old, stay old.
Yeah.
And a timeout for Stanford here with 5:10 to go. 71-51, the Cardinal looking to go to 3-1.
Not having that. This is the way we're going to play, and if you're not going to, and he was into them good, because some of the mistakes they were making were not sound basketball plays.
Good night for his bench. 45 of Stanford's 71 coming from the bench.
Well, the only two guys in double figures are off the bench. Noah Tates and Brandon Agel with 13 and 11 respectively.
Here is Tates. Spencer Jones, shot clock rolling down, and Jones can't convert inside, and the rebound pulled down by Trey Woodyard for Valpo. Aaron Gordon. And a foul going for the rebound. And a clear out called against Joe Hedstrom of the Beacons, his second. You mentioned that Aaron Gordon, his brother is Eric Gordon. He was a 7th overall draft pick by the Pacers back in 2008. He had a brother that played in the Pac-12 as well. His brother Evan played at Arizona State among 3 different schools that he played at.
I don't remember him, but I'm finding I don't remember a lot more things as I mature.
You're finally maturing. That's what you.
Well, that was just a nice way to say I'm getting old. Good double, make him give it up. Nice kick out.
Wide open, Michael O'Connell from the top.
That's what I think Michael O'Connell needs to prove he can do to keep himself viable and give him driving lanes. There's a drive and drift right there. Nobody in the corner.
Joe Hedstrom spinning. And the rebound, Lucas Kasunas for the Cardinal.
Ultimately, the quality of shots that you take in a game, the percentage are going to catch up to you, both good and bad.
Trying to force that one inside to Merle. Loose ball. Here comes Sheldon Edwards. He'll pull up for a 3, 1-on-2. And the rebound, Noah Tates for Stanford.
Not your classic fast break shot, but when you're down 23, I guess.
Why not?
Oh. I mean, they're at a size disadvantage without question. So they had to try to shoot the 3 to have a chance.
Max Merle rattles out the 3. And the loose ball, Kasunas hits the deck, wrestles it away. And Spencer Jones keeps it alive for the Cardinal.
Mike Reed taking a good look, doesn't want to call anything. Let him play a little bit. Stanford going to take a timeout, get some some guys in the game that he hasn't been much chance to play.
2:47 remaining. Michael O'Connell and the Cardinals. Terrific game against the Beach and Jaime Jaquez.
That's a nice trio to have if you're UCLA that can score the ball. Plus they've got a point guard, Tiger Campbell. It's a proven player. I guess the only question I have is size, physicality inside.
And the tip running the floor is Trey Woodyard for Valpo. Bruins without Cody Riley still. Injured his knee.
Those three guys can really shoot the ball, those three perimeter guys.
David Singleton coming off the bench can really shoot it.
Yep. Got some guys. Moss they like.
First career appearance for Moss as a freshman. And a forced three by Max Merle with the shot clock running out. Lucas Kasunas can't get it inside. Also in the game for Stanford, Neil Begovic on the drive, and Trevor Anderson will get to the line. But Jarvis Moss, Jared Hatch really likes him as well. Concord, North Carolina native. And his team up 74-53, 156 remaining.
Trevor Anderson's been a fairly consistent player for Valpo, playing with a lot of confidence, which I would think you would, having been at Wisconsin, and I don't know how many minutes he logged in the Big Ten, but he's played against that level of player.
Played for his dad in high school, the son of a coach, and he's 8th in Wisconsin high school basketball history in scoring.
Wow. But he's a 6th year, so he's a veteran guy. He's certainly not intimidated to be here. Maybe he had to do a little more than he should have for this basketball team right now, given their injury status and on the road against a Pac-12 school.
Trying to get it inside, and Neil Begovic posting up. As his brother Daniel Begovic in the game also. Zambeskin has it sent back. Here's Anderson. All the way to the bucket. Count it, +1, Trevor Anderson.
Going to get a three-point play here. One of the things you got to get these guys some playing time. You got to get them some confidence. You have to reward them. You just hate it to get junked up a little bit at the end of the game. You know, you want these kids to get out there and make the right plays, but
how much of your influence do you see in Matt Loddick, the way he coaches a game and what his team runs?
I don't know that he has the opportunity to do some of the things that we did. Just given continuity, and we had great players here.
Inside, too.
Yeah, and I love to play inside out. And I think Matt would like to play with a good low post, but it's hard. So he's got to dance with the gal at Brigham. I mean, he's got to do what he can. And lost a lot of kids last year, which seems to be the want in college basketball right now. The one thing he would stress is toughness. I mean, he wants his kids to be tough and defend. And Missouri Valley's a really good basketball league, but probably not at the level of the Pac-12. So he didn't have to try to beat a good Stanford team on the road necessarily. He'd like to have been a little more competitive, certainly, but he just got to do his thing.
Lucas Kasunas will get to the line.
I like that foul. You don't want to see guys going down.
And just go right down the lane.
Yeah.
It's third on Keandre Young. All right. Talking about Loddick's toughness. The all-tough team for you that played for you. Is he on it?
Yeah. Chris Hernandez.
Okay.
Adam Keith.
Andrew Vlahoff.
Oh.
Don McClain just had flashbacks.
Yeah.
Don coming up next is J.B. Long from Poly. Did you see him look in his eye during the open? You know why.
Don will admit it.
Oh, yeah.
Vlahoff and Keith. I think Trevor Wilson and Don McClain, you know, we had some success in some ways, shouldn't have, but those guys could really defend.
Tell you what, I mean, all the accolades and how great of a player Brevin was for you, he was tough, too.
Yeah, he was. As much as anything, it was mentally tough. I mean, he just wouldn't give in. You know, I was on a rules committee, and they wanted to make a rule change about the 5-second count, and they wouldn't do it because of Brevin Knight. They said, if we put that rule in, we'll never be able to guard Brevin Knight. And I was right there listening to him tell me that.
And the rebound Keandre Young. Final 15 seconds. And Matt Loddick, I know he wishes this homecoming would have gone a little better, but it still was an emotional day for him to come back here and bring his team into play Stanford.
Very much so, and he hasn't been back a lot. He wasn't sure how to react. I did say in fairness, I said, Matt, it's not the same as it was, which is really unfortunate. I really hoped a lot of people would turn out and welcome that. He meant so much to this program, but Stanford's going to